In today's tumultuous political climate, the latest developments in the Trump administration's foreign policy have sparked widespread debate and raised significant questions about the government's priorities. At the forefront of this controversy is the administration's bold and perplexing stance on Greenland, a move that many critics argue serves as a distraction from mounting domestic challenges. Coupled with incisive interviews that delve into the struggles facing industry, this report unravels the complexities behind these seemingly disparate issues to reveal a deeper narrative of misdirected priorities and policy failures. The administration's aggressive posture on Greenland has quickly emerged as one of its most controversial initiatives. With JD and Usha Vance cast in roles that suggest a colonial ambition, their recent actions in Greenland have not gone unnoticed. During what the White House termed a cultural visit, Usha Vance found herself on a short-lived diplomatic mission. Reports indicate that despite her team's proactive attempts to engage local Greenlanders, no one was willing to host the delegation, a clear sign of local resistance to what many perceive as an attempt at modern-day colonization. The symbolic nature of this misadventure is underscored by the president's emphatic declaration that we have to have Greenland. This statement, intended to underline a national security imperative, instead raises troubling questions about the underlying motives of an administration that seems more interested in pursuing grandiose geopolitical claims than addressing the concerns of its own citizens. At a time when the nation grapples with economic headwinds, the administration's fixation on acquiring Greenland appears particularly misplaced. The country is currently navigating turbulent economic waters, marked by a plunging stock market, a trade war that has only worsened domestic price pressures, and a surge in inflation that is leaving American families struggling to make ends meet. Critics argue that while the nation's most vulnerable are facing rising costs for everyday necessities, from groceries to housing, the president's attention is diverted toward an external target that offers little in the way of practical benefits. The irony is stark. A leader who campaigned on promises to alleviate economic pain is now perceived as prioritizing an ambitious annexation over addressing the very hardships his supporters face. This disconnect between campaign promises and actual policy outcomes is becoming increasingly evident in the political arena. Recent developments, including a sharp downturn in the stock market and a reversal in the president's approval ratings, are reflective of broader discontent. Now, in Pennsylvania, Republicans have suffered setbacks, losing 2 crucial legislative seats. One of these losses involved a district that, until recently, had been a stronghold for the party, highlighting a growing sense of disenchantment among voters. The withdrawal of Elise Stefanik's nomination for U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, the effort ostensibly motivated by electoral concerns, further exemplifies the administration's inability to reconcile its domestic responsibilities with its external ambitions. These events suggest that the focus on Greenland may not only be a distraction, but also a strategic misstep that jeopardizes the broader national interest. Amid these political and economic headwinds, the auto industry is also facing its own set of challenges, particularly as seen in the case of Tesla. In an in-depth discussion with industry expert Kara Swisser, the narrative turns to the beleaguered electric vehicle manufacturer. Tesla, once hailed as the vanguard of innovation, now finds itself grappling with a host of issues that have diminished its appeal. Despite its reputation for producing quality vehicles, the company's current valuation as a meme stock, exemplified by its astronomical price-to-earnings ratio, raises serious concerns about its long-term viability. In Tesla's model of relying heavily on the charismatic persona of its CEO, Elon Musk has increasingly come under scrutiny, especially as its technological innovations have begun to stagnate. Critics contend that the company's failure to update its offerings or keep pace with emerging competitors in the electric vehicle market signals a troubling complacency. As more consumers are presented with alternatives that boast superior design and performance, Tesla's once dominant position is rapidly eroding. The implications for the broader market are significant. Despite attempts to leverage the appeal of a futuristic, robotics-driven vision, Tesla's strategy appears to be faltering in the face of practical realities. The promise of a revolutionary robotaxi service remains unfulfilled, and the company's inability to refresh its product lineup only compounds its challenges. Furthermore, attempts to shift the narrative towards artificial intelligence and advanced robotics have done little to distract from the core issue. Tesla is losing market share. The situation is exacerbated by the lack of enthusiasm from Republican consumers, who have not embraced electric vehicles with the same vigor as their liberal counterparts. In an environment where consumer sentiment is crucial, the company's struggles serve as a stark reminder that innovation alone cannot sustain a brand without continuous improvement and responsiveness to market demands. Parallel to these challenges in the private sector is an incisive critique of liberal governance, as articulated by Ezra Klein in his latest book, Abundance. So, Klein's analysis delves into the shortcomings of policies championed by the Democratic establishment, a critique that resonates deeply in today's political landscape. Through a methodical exploration of governance outcomes in key blue states, Klein argues that while liberal policies have excelled in providing immediate relief through financial support programs, they have fallen short in fostering long-term prosperity. Issues such as the housing crisis, inadequate public infrastructure, and unmet clean energy targets have underscored a fundamental failure: the inability to deliver on the promise of making essential goods and services truly abundant. Klein's narrative highlights a critical disconnect. In states like California, where the promise of innovation and progress is most pronounced, the reality is a stark contrast characterized by soaring costs and a chronic shortage of affordable housing. As millions of residents migrate from blue states to red states in search of better opportunities, the political balance is poised to shift dramatically. The demographic exodus from traditional strongholds signals not only an economic crisis, but also an impending realignment of political power, a trend that could see blue states losing valuable congressional seats and electoral votes in the near future. This migration is not merely a statistical anomaly, it is a clear indicator that the current policies, while well-intentioned, have not translated into tangible improvements in people's lives. The convergence of these domestic challenges with an administration's preoccupation with external ambitions creates a troubling scenario. On one hand, voters are left to contend with the harsh realities of economic distress and governance failures. On the other, they are faced with a leadership that seems increasingly detached from these pressing issues, fixated instead on symbolic gestures such as the ill-conceived pursuit of Greenland. This misalignment between rhetoric and reality not only undermines public trust, but also sets the stage for long-term political and economic instability. The voters, caught in the crossfire of misguided priorities, are left with the stark choice of demanding accountability or facing further deterioration of the systems designed to protect their interests. In the midst of this turbulent landscape, it is worth acknowledging the role of trusted sponsors who provide practical solutions to everyday challenges. Renewal by Anderson, for instance, offers a compelling alternative for homeowners burdened by the inefficiencies of aging windows and doors. With a reputation bolstered by over 500,000 recommendations, the company delivers custom-built, American-made products that promise to improve energy efficiency and curb rising utility bills. Their spring savings event, which features attractive offers on window and door replacements, is a timely reminder that while political leaders may falter, reliable solutions continue to enhance our daily lives. Similarly, Vea Life emerges as a beacon of simplicity and effectiveness in the realm of natural wellness. In today's fast-paced world, the need to maintain focus and relaxation is more pressing than ever. Vea's range of hemp-derived products, crafted with care and supported by rigorous quality standards, offers consumers a way to navigate the stresses of modern life. With a commitment to transparency and customer satisfaction, Vea Life not only delivers on its promises, but also reinforces the importance of well-being in a time when distractions abound. As we conclude this report, it is essential to reflect on the broader implications of these developments. The administration's preoccupation with Greenland, while seemingly a minor issue on the international stage, symbolizes a larger trend of misaligned priorities, one that has profound consequences for national security, economic stability, and the very fabric of American governance. Say, the diversion from pressing domestic issues in favour of ambitious, yet impractical, foreign policy initiatives is a stark reminder that leadership must be measured not only by grand gestures, but by tangible results that improve people's lives. The challenges faced by companies like Tesla and the critical insights offered by Ezra Klein further underscore the need for a fundamental reassessment of our political and economic strategies. Whether it is the technological stagnation of a once revolutionary auto manufacturer or the policy failures in states that have long been seen as bastions of progress, the common thread is clear. The current trajectory is unsustainable. Voters must demand that their leaders address these issues head-on, rather than being distracted by symbolic moves that do little to alleviate the real struggles of everyday life. In closing, this investigative report serves as both an analysis of current events and a call to action. As the administration continues to pursue policies that seem increasingly disconnected from the needs of the people, it is incumbent upon citizens to hold their elected officials accountable. The stakes are high, both on the international stage and within our own communities. Only through a commitment to genuine, substantive reform can we hope to secure a future that prioritizes prosperity, security, and justice for all.